What is up, movers? I'm Coach Howe. We are going to cover the corner air chair. So you may have seen my air chair video before. If you haven't, go back and review that. It's going to cover a little bit more detail than this is going to be, but we're just going to go into a corner air chair with support, and I'm actually going to ask you to go ahead and move along with me. So let's go ahead and get our timer started. We're going to go ahead and do 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and get that started. We're ready to rock and roll. If you're not barefoot right now, I encourage you to be barefoot. If you can't be, that's okay. But get yourself on a surface that you're comfortable and find yourself assistance where need be. I'm gonna have my butt against the wall for assistance. You can always go with anything in front of you and hold your air chair here. You can, I've got a hockey stick here, but you can grab a broom or any type of pole. You can always use assistance in front of you or behind you. Having something in front of you may allow you to get deeper and deeper and deeper back as you continue to stay in the hold of the air chair. But when you have a surface behind you, you can also just get a little bit deeper while pressing back and bringing the hips high. So you're still finding length, you're just not getting as far back. But in order to get far back, let's go ahead and start. If you do have your surface behind you, let's come heels against the wall and take your foot and go, so 1 full foot away from the wall. That is the size of my foot, do the size of your foot, not foot in measurement. But get 1 of your feet away, step away from the wall. Go ahead and bring your hands behind you, get your butt back. And let's not just dump forward with our butts back. Let's keep a nice, strong low back. Let's really work on bringing our hips back and high to the sky. So this is almost like setting ourselves up for a forward fold. And we do want to almost feel this sensation of the hips going from neutral to internally rotating. So we may see a little bit of the knees going inward, but that doesn't mean we're taking our knees and driving our knees down and in. That can cause some adductor and some hip flexor problems, tension and tightness and just training reverse movement. That's not what we want to be doing here. We want to be making sure we're taking our feet, driving the outside blades of the feet into the floor, creating that fish hook visual pressure of motion. So driving down and gripping back and up with our feet. As the pressure goes down to the floor, we bring it back up, bringing the hips high and rotating in. Once again, you may not have a ton of that internal rotation yet, creating this pressure wave and this movement. So if your knees are just stuck at neutral, that's totally fine. Let's just go ahead and keep them there, making sure our ankles are staying high, feet are not collapsing, really using that pressure of the feet to help use the hips create pressure, and also just not letting those feet collapse and dumping in like this. So we are keeping our pressure here, hands against the wall, butt goes as high as possible, climbing the hips high and wide, driving femurs back into the hips as deep and high as possible. And we're gonna take our thumbs, double check that our hip flexors are off here. We're gonna go ahead and start that timer right now. So we are in our 5-minute corner air chair hold. I actually sometimes like to take my butt and try and take the meat of my butt and spread it wide, helping feel those hips get wide and high to the sky. Always taking my thumbs here, kind of poking around, making sure things in the front are turned off and quiet. Gonna go ahead and look down, make sure my feet are straight. I don't need to over accentuate the position of my feet to just fake this cornered air chair. I really just wanna work with what I have available in my range of motion at this time. Once again, keeping that low back nice and flat with a slight curve. Lordotic curve, we don't want to round the low back and the tail tuck. We're bringing that tailbone high to the sky, driving those hips wide, and then we're gonna take our elbows and kind of pull those back, pulling our shoulders back, kind of keeping our chest high, tall, and just lengthening it. We're gonna go ahead and get into some deep breathing here, so I wanna focus on this. We've got a little while here, so let's just go ahead and start with a deep belly breath through the low abdomen into the hip flexors, feel that fill up, and then get a nice long exhale. Low back may be on fire here, that's totally okay. If you can, do a slight tail tuck to try and engage those glutes a little bit more, but we're not fully tail tucking, losing that engagement. Low back may just be on fire because we're just weaker in that area, and that's totally okay. We're gonna be building that up here big time. Focus on that breathing, focus on that pressure, driving hips wide. We're 2 minutes in right now. If you need your support, go ahead and get that. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer over to support here. Being a little bit more fatigued than usual today. No need to force it. Go ahead and treat your body with what it needs. Keep spreading the hips wide into the sky, finding that pressure, finding more space and depth. Keeping the back long and strong. Keeping the feet strong. Using support where need be. Making slight adjustments where need be. Making small micro movements, slow and steady with control. Finding pressure, funneling it to the right areas. Feeling stronger, feeling longer. Really getting cooked up here. Remember to drive with the hips, not with the knees. Feel the ankles work in unison with the hips. Foot and ankle is going to work with the hips. As you stay here for a long period of time, you can really start feeling muscles making more connections. We're just about done. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's slowly come out of this using your breath work, using support, and walk your way out of it. That is not easy stuff, but that's gonna make big changes. If you did come along and move with me and hold that corner air chair for that 5 minutes, congratulations, that was very tough. And you did a good job. So thanks for being here with me, and join me for more next time. I'm Coach Hal.